Yeah, there's a couple of aspects to it. I would say the first is money, obviously, because money is always an important thing, and be it big enterprises or also smaller startups, money is very important. So there's this thing that you can pay less with the technical part of serverless, with this functions as a service. They are known that if you don't use it, you don't pay for it. But also, if you have a successful product and you need to scale and you have a lot of traffic, then it's also easier to pay more. So before there was things that money can't buy, and now with the serverless technique, you can throw more money on top of it and have more performance out of the system, so to say. But then for individuals like developers, there's also the fun part, right? Because it's this technical new thing, this part of serverless. It's fun again to use a new technique, and that's what we as developers also like. New frameworks, new tools, the new shiny thing to try that out. But in the end, I would say serverless is actually about people, if you think about that. And I also explained that in my yesterday's talk, that it's not really about this technical, the technical parts, because in the end it's developing software and creating software products. The technical side is solved. It's not the problem anymore to implement the solutions technically. It's more about talking to people and finding out what is the real problem, what is value. And then in the end, that might sound familiar to you. We're back to what Agile, DevOps was all about, is delivering value to the user and finding out what is the value. Oh yeah, definitely. I would recommend, it depends on there's, for example, podcasts, if you're into that, and first and foremost to mention Jeremy Daly's podcast, Serverless Chats, very good podcast. It's now the 20th episode released, which is especially about, if you're new to serverless, what to look into. Then there's newsletters, which are really good. Off by None, also by Jeremy Daly to mention. But if you're into books, for example, Gojko Arčić has released a book on LeanPub based on AWS SAM, which explains about serverless, and there's a couple of more books. And of course, online videos, if you're into that. AWS has a couple of very good, also Azure Functions, there's good video courses out. Or connect with your local community. There's a lot of good meetups, like for example here in Berlin, the Serverless Meetup Berlin. There's Serverless Days conferences now in more and more cities, which is a community conference. It's not expensive, and it's one day where you can hear a lot of great talks about serverless, but also meet the community and meet the speakers. Everyone's friendly and is very happy to share their knowledge with beginners in that topic. Maybe first I wouldn't call myself a community manager. More like a contributor. That's how I would see it. That's my part. How I can contribute back to the community. And there's the time that the aspect of time. So if you have a day job, family, and maybe other interests as well, or it's just hard to do as much as you actually want in that regard. So actually, it's if you have an established meetup, for example, and I helped to co-organize 3 of them. Then luckily at some point, at least in Berlin, we don't have the problem of finding a location anymore. So companies that sponsor the location, or even food and beverages, it's just having this time to talk to speakers and just set up the thing. We use Slack to communicate. We use Trello, for example, where we have set up a Trello board to organize. And I would say as a organizer of a meetup, just be open for help. That proved to be, I would say, one of the biggest improvements or reliefs if you start, like I did, started the domain-driven design meetup, and today we're 6 co-organizers in Berlin. And yeah, we wouldn't maybe call it tool, but this is very helpful if you have more help from other people that are also interested in contributing back. Yeah, I've seen the platform introduced yesterday, I guess. I didn't know before, but it sounded very good, and looking forward to get into this platform more and all that it offers. And it's actually my first Codemotion conference here in Berlin, but so far I'm very happy to be here, to be a part of it. And it's a very special feeling. Everyone is open. I had a lot of good conversations already with other attendees, with speakers. Seems very open and knowledge sharing going on, and seems also great diversity here from younger people, older people, men, women, all kinds of people, which seems very nice. Yeah.